Well, hi, Stephen. I hope you're well today. Can I just get you to perhaps introduce yourself in terms of your tenure here in RCSI Bahrain?
No problem at all. Thanks, Alf. So I am Stephen Harrison Murfield. I've been at RCSI for the last 11 years, firstly as Chief Operating Officer and more recently as Managing Director. And my responsibility here is to essentially run the university from a business perspective.
Yeah. And have you enjoyed the experience?
I've loved it. It's been 11 years of just the most incredible experiences, meeting the most incredible people, building with my colleagues what I think is just one of the most incredible places I could ever imagine to work.
And seeing as we're talking about vision, what is your vision for the student experience here in RCSI Bahrain?
I suppose one of the things that when I first arrived here at RCSI Bahrain was it was informed by my previous experience, almost 30 years ago now, as a student union president. So I was at a university in the UK and I kind of saw the centrality of the wider student experience. So I've always felt that the academic product here at RCSI Bahrain has been world class. It's been fantastic. But what I really wanted to do and what we've done as a team over the last 11 years is built the broader student experience, the more holistic student experience, whether it's from sports, pastoral support, events, evenings and that side of things. And I think, I feel that one of the biggest strengths of our institution is that we act as a big extended family and everybody feels comfortable with each other, whether that's staff or students, even our external stakeholders, and people come to campus with an enthusiasm, a passion for what we do here, because we build the student experience into that. And I think, you know, not just on the operational side, but particularly on the academic side, we build the student into everything we do. And I think for me, it's brilliant. It's what gets me up in the morning.
Yeah. And have you any particular highlights from your 11 years here?
I mean, there's so many to pick from. I mean, you know, we've developed the campus incredibly. We've added a new football pitch. You know, if you were to ask me for the kind of the highlight of everything that goes on in the institution, it's kind of when I get to engage with alumni from the institution who talk about how fantastic their careers have gone and how well they're developing, and it kind of fills me with a sense of pride that we've managed to take students who are 17, 18, develop them into healthcare professionals and have gone on to develop themselves into leadership positions and everything else, and it's phenomenal. But if I was to pick one particular moment that kind of stands out and fills me with pride, I can't remember the exact year, I think it's about 2016, was RCSI Bahrain as an institution is relatively small in comparison with other institutions here in Bahrain, but we won the female inter-university cup football. And it was just such an amazing kind of experience to see our female football players do so incredibly well. They also came runners-up in the basketball competition as well. So that for me always stands out as a real kind of incredible moment.
Well, thank you very much, Stephen.
No problem. So, Alf, you've asked me questions. Over to you. Can you introduce yourself?
Well, my name is Alf Nicholson, as you know, and I've been here for 4 years as the head of the School of Medicine, Vice President for Academic Affairs. It's been a very happy 4 years, a challenging 4 years because of COVID, obviously, where we were stranded in Bahrain for quite a length of time. I've really enjoyed the experience. I was previously in Dublin as head of paediatrics, and for many years I've worked for RCSI, so I understand the Dublin group very well. And I think we've developed a partnership model here that works exceptionally well for the students. So I'm really happy with how things have gone and how they continue to go for us here in the university.
It's fantastic. And as you mentioned, you've worked both here and in Dublin, and we have a shared vision in many ways, but I've spoken about the kind of student experience. Can you speak to us about the educational experience and the vision for that?
Well, I think the educational experience is unique here in the sense that we have got some very senior professors who are close to retirement age when they come, and they give a huge amount of their time and their wisdom to the students. That's really, really important. And we've supplemented that with lots of new clinical educators and lecturers that really have the enthusiasm and are closer to the age of the students, and they really have added greatly to the overall student learning experience. We've used that technology very well of late. We've had to, during COVID obviously, but we've continued with that. And we've gone back to campus learning, which is really, really important. And like you, I'm really, really engaged in how the students do, how they progress through each year, and how they continue on in their medical careers thereafter. And those alumni events and everything around them suggest to me that we are producing graduates of the highest possible quality.
I couldn't agree more. I couldn't agree more. And your tenure's been slightly less in Bahrain, but longer overall with RCSI. What do you see as the greatest achievement of the university in the time that you've been here?
Well, I think with your leadership and I think all our collaboration, we got through the COVID pandemic period very well. I think, in fact, we strengthened considerably during that time. And I think that now we are regarded by our colleagues in Dublin as equal partners. And I think that's been very evident during the implementation of the new curriculum for year 1 and 2, that our views and our suggestions are met very, very favourably by our Dublin colleagues. So I think we've really assumed a partnership role. And I think that's very appropriate as we approach our 20th anniversary of our being, that we are now full partners with RCSI Dublin, delivering the highest possible education in the Gulf at the highest international standards. So I'm very proud of that.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right there, Alf. Now I see that there's a question here on the table that we should pick up.
This is the hidden question.
So our joint question: how does the university fulfil RCSI's mission to educate, nurture and discover for the benefit of human health?
Well, I think I've covered some of that already, but I think that in terms of education, I think we've got a really strong educational program. I think we're developing that all the time, evolving all the time to meet the needs, the current healthcare and future healthcare needs of the population. We nurture our students, and I think it's really important that we nurture our students. The pandemic and indeed all of life now is a much more stressful environment for younger people. And I think we, through our student wellbeing department and through all the other supports that we provide, we, I think, allow our students the space and the added support if they need it to develop and to reach their potential. And I think that discovery, in terms of discovering, we encourage research amongst our student group. We try and get them into undergraduate research. We support them in that through our undergraduate research program, through electives and special programs. And I think that's been very effective. And quite a number of our students are now publishing in Q1 journals, which I think we should be really proud of them.
No, it is incredible. And I suppose going on from that, a lot of the great work that we do around the community engagement and the community outreach side of things, whether it's here in Bahrain or through our ICE, the International Community Engagement side of things, really shows our commitment to the broader community, but the commitment to kind of developing healthcare professionals who care, who can really make a difference. I guess one of the things that really always strikes me, and whenever we talk about it, it fills me with pride, is the Mobile Diabetes Unit, which was set up, I think, now in 2012, so it's almost 12 years old, which has been going out to schools for all that period, educating students in that kind of 8 to 10-year-old bracket about type 2 diabetes and what they can do to avoid it, and leading a healthy lifestyle. And I like to think that as a result of that, it's really been nurturing a future generation who are much more health conscious and much more healthy in terms of their living and everything else. So, and I guess going back to the points that we both made, that kind of sense of pride in seeing what's achieved down the line when we meet back up with our alumni. Our first alumni our first graduation was 2010, so they're 14 years out now and are in consultant level positions, and to be able to see that, and that many of those are now actually teaching for us, whether in a clinical setting, some have returned to teach here at the university. It just fills you with pride.
Yeah. Well, like you, I'm very impressed by the Inspiring Excellence Awards, and the recipients of those awards, both in nursing and in medicine, have been outstanding young people that you really would be inspired to follow. And I think the other group that I really wanted to stress were the International Community Engagement Group. Small number of students going to Vietnam, Tanzania, and other places and really learning about healthcare in resource-poor environments. And I think that does suggest to me that they have got a social conscience, that they are aware of their place in the world, and they're aware of the really significant impact that healthcare professionals can have in the world that we live in.
I always love the international community engagement presentations when they come back from the experiences, because obviously we have both nurses and medicine students that go on that, and the passion and the in some ways life-changing experiences that they've gone through never fails to kind of lift my spirits and kind of really serves to allow me to understand what a difference that they're making and what a difference we're making to them in doing that. It's quite incredible, really.
Yeah, we're both from different countries, but you're from England and I'm from Ireland. We've come to the Middle East. I've really enjoyed the experience. I never thought, as I was graduating myself, that I would end up towards the end of my career in Bahrain, but it's been a really enriching and really rewarding period of time, and I'm glad it's continuing.
Yeah, no, I agree entirely. So we have some envelopes on the desk in front of us with our names on.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, this is the Dean's Award, and the recipient of the Dean's Award is one academic and one support person per year. And the recipient here is Professor Kevin Dunn, who's been here 11 years. He's a professor of pediatrics. I think he's a very classical role model for young doctors. He's a passionate teacher. He really enjoys and gives so much of his time to the students. And both he and I were very lucky to be able to publish 2 textbooks of pediatrics while I've been here. He contributed handsomely to both. So he's a great role model. He's a great mentor to the students. And he, like so many of our senior academics, passionately cares about their teaching and their welfare. So hats off to him and to all our academics.
Absolutely, absolutely. An incredibly worthy recipient of the Dean's Award. So this picture here is me with a mask on with my wife and my youngest son, Elliot, Lucy, my wife. And this was at International Night, I'm guessing 2021. So the International Night is an event that's held each year, and we celebrate the diversity of our student body and staff body. I think there's 50 different nationalities on the student body, and there's various stands that are held there. And Elliot, when I first started working here, was 4 years old, so he was very small. And he's been to pretty much every single international night that we've had since then, and absolutely loves it. And in fact, our last international night was last week, and Elliot was here. He's at boarding school at the moment in the UK. It was across. He's now 6 foot tall, and so very, very different. I think he was taller than most of the students. But this picture just brings back memories and is reminiscent of all those wonderful international student nights that we've had. My older 2 kids, Ben and Maddie, weren't at this one, which is a shame. But yeah, it's just wonderful memories. And this, for me, sums up not just the diversity side of things, but why I feel so strongly that RCSI is my family away from my family, or my family with my family, I suppose, in this picture.
Yeah, it's a fantastic picture. And like you, I've been at just a few international nights, and they've all been fantastic. Yeah. Fantastic.
Excellent.